share.
There's no turning back.
I caught
A little bit of technical difficulties.
Unity, there's no turning back. Forward with fortitude, the future's in sight. Together we rise like stars in the night. Authenticity reigns, love leads the way. We're speaking in harmony every single day. Speak harmony, let your voice intertwine. So let's move forward, ever bold and true. With Sharon and Tamara, the vision breaks through. Speak harmony where hearts align.
Speak harmony. This is yet another edition of Speak Harmony. And this episode is brought to you by none other than APAP Media. APAP Media Group, right here in Stone Mountain, Georgia, is a full-service creative video and photo production company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, and live streaming. You may contact them at info@apapmedia.com. I want to thank you again to our sponsor, APAP Media. And what an amazing evening it is to Speak Harmony. We've got two amazing guests lined up for you today. And let me tell you, you want to tune in and get ready. Fasten your seatbelts, get ready, get ready. So without further ado, we want to go ahead and introduce and bring up our first guest of the evening.
Our first
Wow.
guest is no stranger to the show, is no stranger to Gwinnett County, no stranger to the Jamaican community. And we are excited to have her on board. She is a true advocate, a true voice of reason, a voice that her advocacy goes long and far and beyond what we could even think about. She needs no real introduction, but we will introduce her. Marlene Taylor Crawford is here from Post 4. And we are excited to have her. I get the honor of seeing her every couple of months because she does so much in the Lawrenceville area, in Gwinnett County. I get to see her in a different capacity as a school counselor, being involved with our children, with the next generation. And so we welcome you to the show. We welcome you. We thank you for taking time out. I know it's a busy time for you. And we want to make sure that we could tell our listeners and share with them who you are and what you have been doing in our community.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. I'm so humbled. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. So as we talk about this and we bring you on today, and what has been your why? Why have you chosen this path? Because you could have done so many different things in life. Why did you choose this path?
I chose it because I really have no excuse not to serve, because so many people have paved the way for me to be where I'm at. So I feel strongly that I have no excuses and I have to give back and help others. So that is my why. I have no excuse. I must serve.
And I think service is so important. As we talk about this, Sharon, we're building communities here on Speak Harmony.
We are.
And so when we talk about community involvement and the involvement that she has, not just with Gwinnett County, we talk about overall advocacy. We talk about homelessness, which is a big thing that's going on here in our county.
Absolutely.
But there's so much more to it. So tell us about that work that you're doing with the homeless community and what we're trying to strive to accomplish.
So unfortunately, in Gwinnett County, for years, the blinders have been on, meaning that if we ignore the problem, maybe it will go away. But as a school counselor since 2000 in Gwinnett County, I saw that was not going to be the case. So I tell people, if you really want to know what's going on in the community, go into the schools. Speak to the teachers, speak to the counselors, speak to the social worker, the administration. So on any given day, you can pull up at an extended stay and see school buses rolling in to pick up students. And that's what I call de facto housing. Because of the lack of affordability for housing, many families are struggling, so they have no other choice but to stay in an extended stay until they can earn enough money in order to move into permanent housing. But unfortunately, that is a struggle. So the work that I do is to help educate families so that they can know what the opportunities are in terms of resources. It's all about building partnerships, but sometimes that space is not easy to navigate. So also to ensure that students stay in the school that they're at, because if not, students can move from school to school, and as you know, that disruption in education is only going to interfere with the students' learning. So education is so vital to help parents understand what they can do in order to keep their students in school and providing the resources, but that is a challenge, to say the least.
Wow. So,
and that's, I can go on and on, but
Yes.
that
We
is
will,
just
yes.
to give you a quick overview. Yes.
well, I know, and I'm taking you back a little bit because I know you kind of answered the question and then you sped up a little bit. So we jumped into the middle and the meat of the matter, but let's go back to the beginning when you started. Because for someone listening right now, it's not osmosis, because you just don't get up and you jump in a race and you get elected and you're in there. I mean, you had to start somewhere. And I remember that day. What did that day when you got started, that day, someone's watching and wants to get involved in their community, wants to serve in their community.
Yes.
What does that look like?
So the
How did
first
they
thing
start?
I would like to say is that there's always work to be done. And for me, it was important for me to find something that really pained my heart, something that really bothered me, that I could not turn away from. I had to have that passion inside of me in order to make a difference. So when I hear people say, oh, I don't know what to do, get involved. There's so much work to be done. And once you find something that really stirs you inside, that's something that you will really stick to, and you can help others doing the work that you love to do. So for me, it was finding my passion, which is education and community service, and I found a way to bridge the two. And I encourage young people who are listening, you don't have to wait till when you are an adult in order to serve. Get involved in school groups, get involved in your community, faith-based organizations, do something, or if not, come up with your own projects. We have so many young people who are brilliant, and they have so many great ideas, so you can be the change that you want to see.
And Kanai, what does that look like? Because I know that's an organization. That's where I saw you first.
Right, Community
Yes.
Action Network Initiative, in order to empower young people and teach them civics, and that was started by former state representative Donna McLeod.
Yes.
But even before that, I've been involved in community service. I was president of the United Ebony Society for many, many years. Also being involved in going to the Board of Elections to make sure that we have integrity when it comes to election, equity, all of the above when it comes to elections, and making sure that our voices are heard and we're not disenfranchised. So when I talk about integrity in elections, I mean not being disenfranchised, not disenfranchising voters.
Equity and inclusion, which is very important.
Absolutely.
And we
absolutely.
have to have a voice. We truly have to have a
Yes,
voice.
and in order to have that voice, we have to be at the table. We have to be at the table, or we have to have people who have our interests at heart at the table advocating for us. Because Shirley Chisholm said, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. Mm-hmm. And we certainly don't want to be there.
We do not want to be on the menu. You have led several organizations and continue to lead several organizations as you lead Ports 4 now. what we talked about getting out and being involved, but what do you think was that poignant time that you said, I have to fight harder, I have to continue? It's been 25 years since you've been in education, so you're impacting on a daily basis.
Even longer than that if you include New York City. Yes.
Here in Georgia.
Yeah, here in Georgia. Yes.
25 years of service. That's long service, as we know.
Yes.
I think it's the Jamaican in you, the dedication that
Yes,
happens.
absolutely. And you know what? I would be remiss if I did not talk about my parents and my grandmother who helped to instill the importance of giving back and helping others. So I do not care how much you have or you don't have. Everyone can give back. Your time is so important. Kind words to someone. Just doing something makes a difference. We can all help someone. And people, and that was taught to me at a young age, and I'm so thankful for that. And I also have a strong faith, so my faith has helped to guide me when times are hard. I know who's always in control, and that was instilled in me at a young age as well.
As we talk about faith, and we talk about how faith has carried all of us through this time. I think when you and I originally met a couple years ago, when we were doing Black Arts, Culture, and Education, at the time it was a different name, but we met and we talk about just faith and how God has preserved us and what he continues to do.
Yes.
And being faith-led and having that be the driving force, if you will, that continues to be your anchor, continues to be your guide. How can you help people, or that voice, that little voice that you talk about, that voice that's inside of all of us?
Yes.
How do we help that to grow? Because we're preserving a legacy that we're creating now. I know it's a long ask of you, but as we create this legacy, how important is it that we try and train the next generation and tell them how much God is the one as the guiding force that we need?
Well, first understand you were put on this earth for a reason. We all have a purpose. So we're not a mistake. We're here for a reason. And for me, that reason is to help others to not only touch people now, but touch the future. And the way that I can do that is by serving and reaching young people, because I always want to aspire to inspire others. I don't want my legacy to be about, the homes that I left, the car, the this and that. No, I want it to be what I have poured into the lives of others. I want people to remember me for that.
Selflessness. And that's what it's all about. It's not about my triune. I keep telling what you said. It makes sense because, a lot of times what we do is focus on us, directly or indirectly. It's me. But really, it's all about what's happening around us, because whatever happens around us affects us.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the key. The fact that you're setting the groundwork, you've laid that groundwork, that platform for the next generation, for generations to come. Again, with mentoring, that's the key right there, because you know what? We can amass, like you said, the cars and the houses and the material stuff. But you know what? That legacy that we're building for the future are those young people that are coming behind.
Exactly.
Those are the ones.
And what life has taught me also, it's a blessing to be able to bless others. And when you give back in whatever capacity you can, God will give back to you. It's truly going to come back in some shape and form. And not only to you, but also to your loved ones, people around you. And I know a lot of blessings in my life is poured into me because of the work that my grandmother did, my mother did, my father did. And people whose name I can't even speak because I never met them has guided me in this path that I'm here now. So I'm just thankful, and I know that we must give back. And the Bible teaches us that where a person's treasure is, so is his heart. And I do not want my treasure to be in material things. I want it to be in things that are eternal, helping others and just blessing others.
Absolutely. As you go around with your granddaughter, because many times she is in tow with you. And I think civic leadership is taught and they emulate what they've seen.
Absolutely.
And I was that little girl behind my grandmother. My grandmother was an educator. I became an educator because of what I saw her doing. She was in higher education before we knew about higher education many years ago. And so every time I see your granddaughter, I picture myself as that little girl going
Thanks
with
for
my.
sharing that.
It's so inspiring. You talk about you aspire to inspire. You inspire on a daily basis. Every time I see you, and you're always so warm when you speak to people. And I've seen you in different capacities. I've seen you with your post 4. I've seen you just being there as a true citizen, but I've also seen you as a counselor and what you're doing and Career Day. We had the opportunity to be with together
And
for
thank
Career
you.
Day.
Yes.
And you're always the same.
Oh yeah.
That consistency is there.
Thank you, because I want to be real, and I want to be approachable, and I think that means a lot. That means a lot to me. That the title is not what makes me who I am. God makes me who I am.
Yes.
And titles are not going to change me because they come and go. So it's all about doing the work. And we know so many people do the work and do not have all these big titles, but they are still serving.
And like you said, titles come and go. Because what's a title? I mean, someone's in ICU. How's your title working for you?
Yeah.
You're on that deathbed. How does your title and your
Exactly.
money and your things, your wealth and all the accolades that you get, how does that work for you? So honestly, and like my mom would say, make sure your dash count. And I'm like, what?
That's powerful.
Date of birth and your date of death.
Yes.
So whatever you do in between that, that dash,
Yes.
make it count.
And let me just
And your dash is
Yes,
counting, sister,
thank
because
you.
I see you everywhere. I mean, I call her and I go, Marlene, blah, blah. And she says, oh, yeah, I'm not sure if I can make it because I have 4 events that day, but I'm going to try, show my face, and you do that.
Absolutely.
And I just want to clarify, I am thankful for the title of being councilwoman, and I
course.
give all thanks to God.
Amen.
But that does not make me who I am.
Wow.
So we cannot make a title define you or change you in a way that people look at you like, okay, that's not the same person who I knew before. No.
Thy faithful
I'm
servant.
still boots
Yes.
on the ground, helping
are,
people, and just answering the phone all hours, weekends, just being here to serve. No one is perfect, but God knows that I try to walk in the path that He has set for me in my life.
Facts, because,
Yeah.
that's real. That's real. I mean, from the day that I've known you, I've had the number in my phone, and I will call her on a weekday or a weekend. I mean, respectfully, but I'm saying, and you pick up that phone. And
She also connects people to.
that makes
It's
yes.
not. It's not just
Yeah.
about
Oh,
her
yeah.
answering the phone.
Oh my God. Oh no.
She will quickly see a need and see who can fill that need.
Absolutely.
Because she has done right by so many people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can call a favor. You can call and say, "Hey, I need X, Y, Z, and here's what we need to do."
Oh, yeah.
As we think about that, we need to help the next generation understand that they have to be involved. It's not
Yes.
but it's that your word is bond. And that's one thing I can say about you. If you say something, you tell somebody you're going to get something done, you're going to do it. And the connections, there are several people that you've connected us with me with. I'm just saying, she's capable of doing these things. Here's somebody you need to talk to. As we move forward into, because we're finishing now the fiscal year of 2025, the school year is now over. As we look forward to the summer, what can we look forward to you doing or us getting involved with you?
So I'm going to be running for office again this year. My term is every 4 years. So I will be out there campaigning. I have so many people who have called me up, Marlene, I will be there for you. I will help you. So I'm very thankful. I cannot do this work by myself. It's impossible. So my goal is also to empower people, to let them know you have a voice, you have strength. And Alice Walker, and I'm going to paraphrase what she said, basically, one of the common mistakes that people make when it comes to power is not giving up their power, not even realizing the power that they have.
Absolutely.
So once we educate people and let them know, okay, you have a voice, you can do something about that, but you have to be present, you have to be there. It can't just be one person trying to do everything. So my goal is also, as people stand with me, I want to help to lift them up so that they can know that they have the power to make changes.
Yeah. You
And
said,
together, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, together we do that.
Exactly.
Together we do
that.
it, because you know what? There is no I in team.
That's
We've got
right.
together we can do this, right? And so, You know, I mean, it's not a one-sided deal because we're about to really, time is flying. I mean, it feels like we just, I mean, half an hour is just disappearing just like that. But we want,
yeah, I'd be remiss not to quote one of the things that you said. People without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Marcus Garvey is one of the people you've quoted.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's one of my favorite quotes because that means so much. I feel that people become so lost because they don't even know their history. They don't know anything about their greatness, the greatness that's inside of them. And because of that, they don't step out of their comfort zone to be their best self. So for me, that is so important. I was also the first African American to serve on the Gwinnett Historical Restoration and Preservation Board. And I was appointed by the first African American commissioner, Marlene Foscue. So it's important to also know that the people that you vote for also have the responsibility of appointing other people to boards and to commissions. So that's really important to think about as well. So I was the first African American to serve on that board. And I was able, with the help of the other board members, to do a lot of great work. So history is very important to me.
Her story is very important.
Of course.
Yes, that's right. Her story. That's right.
Her story.
That's what I should have said. Her story. Absolutely.
Her story.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are wrapping up this segment, but honestly, we could not go without saying, I hear a couple of words echoing. Change agent. If we don't change, guess what? Change won't happen. And so you said it initially, but I'm going to repeat it. If you are not at that table, you're on the menu. You really are.
Right.
And take it seriously, guys. If you're not at the table, find a seat at the table. Mentoring, that's another word that's a buzzword. It came out when I heard you saying that. Because what it is that these young folks, people think it's just a young thing. Everybody needs mentors. So I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Find a mentor. Someone you're watching right now, and summer is drawing nigh. You're getting out of school. Guess what? There's Miss Marlene. Find her number. How can they get in touch with you? How can they find you? How can they locate you to say, hey, I want to join forces with you on your campaign?
So I can give out my number.
Absolutely.
It's
Go right ahead.
678-467-3244. 678-467-3244. And also, along with having a mentor, also having the ability to network. That's really important as well. Networking, meeting people, being in spaces where you can have an opportunity to speak to someone. And I am a connector. If I meet someone and when I meet someone and when they're speaking with me, my mind is going, okay, who can I connect them with?
That part.
Yeah, that's really important. Yes. And I do want to say I'm very proud of my heritage. I was born in New York City, but my mom was from Jamaica, my father from Cuba. So I'm very thankful for my heritage.
Yeah, we are thankful for you.
Yes, we are thankful for you. I'm going to be on that because you know what? I know so many young people who need to get on board. They're going to be running, we don't realize that, but in a short few years, those are the ones that are going to be sitting at these tables.
That's right.
Representing, where we'll be at another table. So guess what? We've got to prepare them. And when we say the people like Tyler Lee, 18 years old. I mean, Tyler is a force to reckon with. And there's so many, So we've got to prepare them. There's so many Tyler among us,
That should be our legacy, the young people who are doing great things, and we have to pour into them so that they can do great things. It's not just about us. No. It's about helping others. So please have that spirit.
Yep. We can seek them out, though, because, sometimes they get a little shy. And if you say to them, Tommy, Sonia, guess what? I think you'd be, oh, no, I'm not. I'm good. But no, and you get them to volunteer. They're shy,
exactly. Get them out of their comfort zone. So often people can see things in us that we can't necessarily see in ourselves.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So people for a few years would tell me, Marlene, you're going to run for office one day. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't have time. I'm so busy now. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I'm just thankful for all the encouragement and all the people that God has put in my life that helped to pour into me as well.
Yes.
Well, thanks
Yes.
once again.
Wow.
Thank
We
you for
appreciate
being
you.
here.
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here.
This is not the first and the last time you'll be
Thank
here on
you.
Speak Harmony.
You
You've
ladies
become
are
family.
amazing, and I just love the name Harmony, and it's all peace at the table.
It's peace at the table,
thank
and we
you.
come together.
Yes.
So we are shaping tomorrow today, and thank you for being a legacy builder.
Thank
for creating
you,
and
thank
paving the way
you.
for many women to come. And as we talk about women to come, we have a group of women standing by
Yes.
to be on
Okay.
the show to talk about something so very important. But we thank you for being here. And we
Thank
look
you for
forward to
giving me
seeing you
this
soon.
opportunity. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it, and keep on doing amazing work. God bless you all.
Bless
Thank you. We honor
as
you.
well.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming. Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the second and final segment of Speak Harmony this evening. Here we have with us, this is Miss Petal.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Petal, Petula, but you go by Petal.
Yes.
Correct?
Petula is
in
my-
the
is my
islands, we
good-
have 3 or 4 names, right?
Right,
And we
right.
have our government name.
Right.
So Petula is the government
It's
name.
the government name.
But your pet name is Petula. It's
Petal.
Petal.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, wow. So Miss Petal here is better known in the U.S. cricket community, cricket guys. Don't know if you know that. If you're a Caribbean person, you know. If you're a person from the island or other countries, India, whatever, you know about cricket. In America, not so much. It's catching on, but it's not there yet. They're making it popular. So there's an event coming up, and because we have a short window, we're going to hand it over to you, Miss Petal, and so you can tell the folks what's coming up and what they can expect.
Thank you for having me, first of
Absolutely,
all.
my pleasure.
And I just want to send out an invitation to all of your listeners, those who pretend they're listening, and those who are actively listening to our tournament. It's an annual tournament. This is our 12th year hosting this tournament, the Georgia Women Cricket Association 12th Annual T20, which is this weekend, Memorial Weekend, 23rd through 25th. And we'll be at Tilson Park, 2230 Tilson Road in Decatur. If you're not a cricketer, you come out. We have women who will definitely teach you how to play cricket. If you do not know how to play cricket, pretend like you know something about cricket, and we are on the same page.
I love it. And what is cricket? So there are Americans listening and watching. I mean, they don't have a clue what cricket is. I mean, I always say it sort of resembles baseball a little bit, but
We say it's a
different.
cousin. We say it's a cousin of baseball.
So you heard it right here.
Right.
Go out and support.
Definite. First of all, cricket is not the company, the phone company. It's the sport that we play. It's actually a gentleman's sport, but the women who love cricket have, made a platform for us to play, for the women to play. And so we've been playing cricket for a number of years. I just wanted to let your listeners know that cricket has been playing in the U.S. for over 100 years.
Really?
It has been.
kidding me?
It has been. But it has not caught on as yet because we do not have as many Americans playing, like American
Right.
playing,
Yes.
not the diaspora
Oh,
or the expats. Because we do have expats the expats who play. And it has been here for over 100 years. So we are we have created a platform for the women to play. The men play every day, every weekend, but our women do not have as many opportunities like our men. Therefore, Georgia Women Cricket Association created a platform for women to play. And I'm pleased to say I have 4 women who came into the country to play with us.
Wow.
They're in the foyer right now.
Oh no, bring them on. Bring them on. Come on. We got to see them, guys. You have to see them. You got to see them. Come on out.
Welcome, ladies. Come on
in.
Absolutely.
I'm so
Come on in.
excited to
You
see
know
this.
what?
I have never met a female cricket player.
Well, you
I'm in
are
awe.
in the right place.
Yes.
So I will introduce
Wow.
to my left. This is Miss Brenda Salozano. She is a former West Indies cricketer. She has played a top level cricket.
Wow.
She's also a Trinidad national player. We have Miss Lyra Jennings. She's actually the captain of Atlanta Pearls team. She is from Trinidad also, and she's doing a marvelous work in Trinidad.
Okay.
We have Miss Anna Lisa to my right shoulder. She's also from Trinidad. So these 3 ladies came into Atlanta not too long ago. And facing me, we have Miss Adela Bella. She is a Leeward Island player, but lives in Antigua.
Oh, awesome. I see her
Yes.
representing. She's got her
Yes,
Antigua
yes,
flag.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So it's not joke cricket we play.
course.
It's not.
Serious
It's not
business.
rum cricket we play. We play in serious
Serious
cricket,
stuff.
where we have created a platform for them to come in and play. The beauty about what Miss Brenda Salozano, Lyra Jennings, and Elisa and Sedella is doing is to help our U.S. women who are still in the embryonic stage to build them up to the next level. Like I said, Miss Brenda played for West Indies, and you
course,
played
that's
for
serious stuff.
17 years?
For Trinidad.
Trinidad for 17 years.
Really?
So, yes.
Currently a level 2 coach.
You know what?
We're coaching.
Come on over.
Oh, yes.
Let the folks hear
Yes.
what it is, because they need to know.
So I represented the West Indies for 7 years, Trinidad and Tobago for 17 years, and I am now a level 2 West Indies coach.
Wow.
Yes.
I am
yes.
so honored to just be in the same room with you. I'm like, I have to learn to play at this point in time.
And serious, we do have a spot for you. You can play on our 6-a-side. We have created a 6-a-side tournament. So if you just want to play, feel like playing, think you want to play, come and play with us. I'm serious. And we just put you on the team and we say lash the ball. We lash the ball wherever you want, you know. So, yeah.
In school.
Well, there you
I
go.
played softball
There
in school,
you
so
go.
I know how
So
to
the
do that.
transition is easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's only so many years ago, but I mean, I'll get it
So
back.
when is your next event? What's going on? Tell us about this as we transition out. No, when is the next time we need to show up?
Show up this weekend,
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Tilson Park, 2230 Tilson Road, and be there with us. Bring your cooler, your chair, your pet animal, your pet friend, and let's have fun.
Well, as Tammy says, where else? I mean, so now you're doing that this coming weekend, but is there a place that people who are interested to going out and learning cricket
Yes.
after
That's it.
this weekend?
Yes,
Where can
we
they find you?
definitely. Find me on Facebook first.
Okay.
Because I like to
Well,
send
and-
people to Facebook, Georgia Women Cricket Association, and you will see all our information there. Also on the Atlanta Pearls team, we constantly recruiting. A matter of fact, we are taking the team to Jamaica in July to play with Portland women. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Big
yes.
things
yes.
going on, man.
Yes, we have to. We have
I'm
to.
so
been a
happy to hear
secret.
this.
I'm glad
Thank
you
you for
came in.
sharing that information
Yes.
because
Thanks for
I
coming
think
in.
many times we don't understand that there are certain sports that women have taken on right now and are excelling. And there's been so many years it's been going on. And I, as somebody who grew up in Jamaica, seeing cricket, going through all that, and didn't know. Savannah Park is a big thing in Jamaica, as you know.
Yes, because we so focus on the men, not cutting you off. We
Right.
so focus on the men, we hardly ever look to the women women in our U.S. community, when we look for sponsorship, first we have to explain. I have to explain what cricket is. I have to say it's not the phone company. Women play cricket. Then they come and say, women play cricket with bat and ball. What else we gonna play with?
Yes, hello.
Like, duh.
Yes,
like the
I know,
kids say,
I
duh,
know.
we play cricket and we play serious cricket. A matter of fact, when we first started the tournament, the men, because at that time I used to manage a men's team, and we have made believers out of skeptics because they couldn't believe that women can play. And I used to tell them, you see, you're acting foolish. I'm going to let you all sit on the bench and bring in the women who can play cricket. When the women came and they saw people like Stephanie Taylor and Anissa Muhammad play, they couldn't say anything else to me the next time, because we play serious cricket. We're not playing bush cricket.
Wow.
We playing serious. We come out competitive. We roll off that bed. We ready to play cricket. But the men, they lackadaisical and all of that. And I could shout out some names, but I will not.
You spare them. But we just want to thank you for coming in.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
Cheryl, I can't say thank you enough, because you know what? This is something that happened upon us, and we had to make it happen. So we just thank you for coming in, because we had to get you in on this podcast.
Absolutely. And
So
we appreciate.
We're gonna slide on to the next guest, but let me tell you, we are so thrilled that you made it in here today. You made my day. I'm gonna learn to play cricket, so I don't care all of y'all talking about. I'm gonna play some cricket.
Thank you, ladies, for coming, and we will be in touch.
More than welcome. Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Please do. Welcome to this final segment of Speak Harmony. My goodness. We just had an exciting moment, guys. It was amazing. Cricketers, women playing cricket. And now we're going to transition into our final guest of the evening.
Last but definitely not least,
My goodness.
a wonderful lady that we met about 3 months ago. I can't believe the time is flying like this. 3 months ago we met, and the impact that I learned from her sorority sister that she continues to make in our community. Ms. Janine Hunter is originally from Indiana, so she's a transplant like many of us coming in. And we are excited to have you on the show. We talked earlier about just financial literacy and understanding about homelessness, but you do something is talk about affordable housing and helping people, and you do a lot more. But tell us a little bit about yourself. I talked about where you came from before, but please go ahead and share who you are and what impact you please will be building with us.
So like Marlene stated earlier, I am a servant of God. So I truly believe that my purpose is to help people to get into housing. There is a scripture that says, to whom much is given, much is required. And a lot of times for our culture, Black and brown people, we believe that there is a system that prevents us from getting into home ownership. And yes, there are some things that are in play that do happen, but if we learn how to navigate that system and we learn the cheat codes of that system, we can become homeowners. So back in 1993, I tried to buy my first house graduating from Indiana University, and I was denied because I did not have good credit at the time. So fast forward, God had a sense of humor and allowed me to start working in the finance industry selling mortgages. So I said, okay, God, you gave me this degree. You gave me me this ability to be able to help people. So what are you going to have me do with it? So for the past 30 years, I have helped families become homeowners. And I tell you, there is no greater pleasure than taking a person who never thought that they would be able to be a homeowner and put the keys in their hands. I mean, I've had single parents just weeping at the table because they just thought, this is not a reality for me. I can't do this. But I tell anyone, if you trust me and understand that I know what I'm doing and coach them to what to do, I'm going to get you in that house. I'm going to get you in that house.
You talk about coaching. I've seen you coach other people in the industry. I've seen when you've gone out and you're talking to other mortgage lenders and different things like that, the impact that you've made in people's life. It's yes, the homeowners, but you're also helping others. So the reach is greater than we can even think about those traditional impacts that somebody's owning a home, but you're teaching others to help others. Where did that love come from? Where did it start from, you wanting to do that?
Wow. Well, I would have to say my grandfather. He was the third generation from slavery. I am the fifth generation from slavery. And he always admonished me that I was sent here to help people. That's what I was supposed to do. Like she talked about earlier about that dash. My dash is to make sure that when God calls me home, he took everything out of me. So that's why I work tirelessly to help people to be able to not only get home ownership, but financial literacy. For so many in our community, we are unbanked. And what does that mean? That means that we don't believe in financial institutions to do our basic checking and savings. So as a consequence, we don't understand how to save money. Well, especially in this economy that we're in now, and eggs are $8 an hour, you've got to figure out, you've got to figure out, how am I going to save money? And if it's at home, I can always touch it. But if it's in a bank and I got to go get it or I've got to swipe it, I got to think about how I'm going to utilize that money.
And you just touched on something that's near and dear to me. You said financial literacy. People don't understand what that phrase means, to be financially literate. And so, honestly, growing up, I mean, we're just taught to go paycheck to paycheck. We're living, and unfortunately for our people, we're dealing with the now. We're only pretty much lending ourselves to existing, just merely existing.
That is correct.
And a lot of folks would think that it's far-fetched to own a home, savings, and they just think of banking their money. They don't think of growing their money. Now, what does growing your money look like? Because when you put your money in the bank, you don't get, what you get back is nothing. Okay. But when you invest your money, when you put your money somewhere, speak to that. So our folks listening and watching us right now can really get a grip of that.
So in my day job, I work for U.S. Bank. I am a mortgage lender. So working in a bank, I see checking and savings deposits. And when I speak, I'm speaking across the board. When you put your money in a checking or savings account, you might get up to about 2 to 3% return on your money. When you invest in stocks and bonds, and you're doing these things for the long term, meaning that, you're putting your money in now and you're going to make maybe about 10, 20, 30 years before you actually reap the harvest of that money sitting in those particular accounts, you're going to have a plethora of funds. The same thing with home ownership. A lot of people say, well, I'm scared of the process. But what I tell my customers every day, when you own a home, it's a forced savings plan. You cannot touch that money. And I don't care what you invest in. When you invest in a piece of real estate, there is no investment vehicle other than that will allow you to get $50, $60, $100,000 in a short span of time. So we have to stop thinking about the right now and start thinking about the long term. And that's what other cultures do. They plant the seeds for now and let it harvest and marinate, and then their children's children are able to live off of the seeds that they planted today.
But culturally though, and this is just playing the devil's advocate. I don't even mean to say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Again, as a culture, as a people, it's not our MO. We're not used to seeing, back then, maybe grandmama and them, grandpapa, whatever, owned property. But it's these days, especially our generation, just before us, we're like, hey, you know what? I got mine. They got to work hard for theirs. Again, the other cultures, they invest in the future.
Right.
So we don't trust. I mean, trust is an issue with us as a people.
Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
been a tough one. I mean, no matter how we shake it, it's a tough one. So saying all of that to say this, there are people watching, there are people listening, there are people who are going to go back and watch this, and they're going to say, well, we heard it there. But speak to those people who are still doubting. You know what? I'm not sure. My credit is jacked up. You know, I have this going on. I have that. I lost my job. I probably don't have a job. And there are resources out there. There are people like you out there, but we don't trust them because we know what happened not too long ago, right? When everything took a nose dive. Speak to that, because we're still in doubt. We're still feeling like it's really not our place to own a home. We can't own anything because this is just not us. Speak to that.
Well, unfortunately, we are a consumer society. And because we are a consumer society, we cannot delay our needs versus our wants. So, for example, I heard the council person talk about, people living in extended stays because they don't have the funds to be able to have home ownership. In Gwinnett County, there is a program called Gwinnett Homestretch where you can get $15,000 in down payment assistance.
Repeat that, please.
Gwinnett Homestretch. It's up to $15,000 in down payment assistance. The challenge that I have with my culture and my people is that we don't want to take baby steps. We don't understand that there is a starter home, there is a middle home, and there is a forever home. So we're in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home right now, but what we want to go to is the 5-bedroom, 4-bath home and pay $2,000 in that price point.
Yeah.
We can't do that. The only thing that will make that price point affordable is if you have $100,000 or so. The way you get that is by going from the 2-bedroom, 2-bath to a townhome. Stay in that townhome 5 years. I had a client that I did that for, actually in Gwinnett County, in Lawrenceville. They sold that home, and in 4 years, they had $100,000. They took that money and then went to their next property. So again, it's just understanding that it is a process, understanding that you're not going to get everything that you want. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home that was approximately 1,000 square feet. We were excited to have that home because it was ours.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what we have
Pride.
to get back to.
Yes. The pride.
Once we get back to that, then we're able, as I said, to save money, because unfortunately a lot of people don't believe in banks because of the run on banks back in 1932. Well, guess what, people? We're almost 100 years past that. There's FDIC insurance that protects your deposits up to $250,000. Most people who have these ideologies or these fears, because that's what they really are, they don't have $250,000 in the bank. So their deposits are going to be protected. A lot of misconception about credit. Yes, if you have challenging credit, I am a HUD certified housing counselor. I can help you get your credit cleaned up. But when you get the credit, I need you to stop the retail therapy. I need you to stop going to Macy's every weekend and shopping, or going to Marshall's every weekend shopping. I need you to stop going to the package store. I need you to stop going to Georgia Lottery, because again, these are things that are giving you a temporary quote unquote peace or a pleasure, but long term you are making yourself ill. Why? Because you're not putting yourself in a position that if anything were to happen to you, you have something that is an asset that you're able to pull from that will carry you through your time of hardship. And that's what homeownership does. It takes you through that period of hardship, because there are programs that are available to homeowners that are not necessarily available to renters.
So we have She Means Business coming up, and you just gave us the whole She Means Business right there, because you're a woman of business. So you are leading the charge on something amazing coming up on the 31st of May.
Yes.
And I'm excited to be a part of it, but it's so much more than it. You have a panel of women that are true entrepreneurs, true leaders in their own right, and you are creating an opportunity for women to come, many women to come and sit down and hear women like you tell a story, create an opportunity, create wellness. And we're talking about generational wealth. We're not just talking about, as you said, is the long term,
right,
and giving up those wants for the needs. Tell us about the upcoming event that you have.
Well, this event is actually hosted by Women's Council of the Empire Board of Realtors. And just to give you context of history, the Empire Board was founded here in Atlanta in 1939 because at the time, Black real estate professionals were not allowed to join the National Association of Realtors. So seeing a need for a professional organization that focused on this, they created this organization. So the Women's Council is actually an affiliate of that organization. And our job is to provide home ownership training, home buying classes, financial literacy. We go into the high schools. We talk to the kids about, careers in real estate. So this is our annual fundraiser. So what I did was I am the chair this year. And yes, I met Miss Tamara at an event with my sorority sister. Nice. And so what I wanted to do was highlight women who are powerful and have them talk about their journeys into entrepreneurship and share their pitfalls. Because again, so many women, especially Black women, we operate in this space of fear. Yes. Mm-hmm. And if we continue to operate in the space of fear, we'll never overcome that fear and do what God has intended us to do. So this is an event where I brought together you, Miss Tamara, who is an artist, as well as I have a vineyardist, which is Darlene. Yes. I have a chiropractor. I have a casting director. I have an actress. I have a Black software development ad person. So we just had all these women come together, and they are going to share their journeys about how they've been successful in business.
It's an amazing platform. Exactly.
Yeah, our young people need to see that, because you know what? They're sitting, they're out of school and they're sitting at home playing video games. Get them out. And that's what I'm telling people, get them out. Everybody knows one young person.
Yes.
And
invite them and tell them you're going out to dinner. Tell them whatever you need to tell them to get them there, because that's what we need to do. We need to pull them out of the house. Unplug the video games and get them to these events, because there is stuff.
Yeah, and just talk about her story is that women in tech right now is changing, and real estate is not just going and showing homes. There's so much more that goes into real estate, goes into mortgages that the young women can go and aspire to. You worked in college readiness. You talk about that too for many years, and your advocacy there with education. Mm-hmm. And I think that scholarship in itself, and bringing young women or people in general, we're not just talking about women, but as we talk about She Means Business, is that we want to help young women create a opportunity for them to be independent. It's not just about independent flicking your wrist. It's about that entrepreneurship journey is not an easy journey. So it's not just preparing them for college, it's preparing them for life and understanding. So I think when they get to see real life women who are excelling in what they're doing and their choices to excel in entrepreneurship is very important. So I commend you for that transition and that you're doing and giving the voice to the voiceless. Because many times we as entrepreneurs, people are just like, oh, you just don't want to work. No, we want to work, and we work very hard as entrepreneurs, and we continue to drive the market. But when we talk about mortgages with entrepreneurs now, that's another thing too. Mm-hmm. Talk about that too, about qualifying for a mortgage when you're self-employed. Talk about how do we, as entrepreneurs or self-employed people, create an opportunity to purchase a home.
Yes, so there are two vehicles to do that. There is the traditional side, which is the conventional FHA, USDA, VA side, which is what people are most familiar with. And then there's what is called the non-qualifying mortgages. So I always tell people, if you want a cheaper interest rate, you got to show me the money on paper. If you don't want the cheaper interest rate, then we're going to use those bank statements. So anytime we're talking about entrepreneurs qualifying for mortgages, the biggest challenge is whether or not you want to tell Uncle Sam what you really made, or do you want to tell him what you want him to think you made because you don't want to pay all those taxes? So it's a case-by-case discussion, because depending upon what that person's overall objective is, we have to sit down and map out a strategy that is best for them.
Of course.
And that's so amazing to hear, because I think most times entrepreneurs think that they can't do it because they don't have a traditional job, a W-2 and different things like that.
But you're just thinking, though. I mean, you've got to ask questions. You've got to go to the professionals. I mean, we can't just sit back and think. And it's not a guesswork.
It's not
a guesswork. Mm-hmm. We can't just assume, again, back to what grandmama, grandpapa, mom and dad did, because things have changed. Times have changed. And entrepreneurship that's been around forever.
We've always been entrepreneurs.
Of course. But we're evolving.
Black Wall Street. Yes.
Hello.
All of that.
But yes, I mean, back to because I know you have this event coming up.
Yes.
But there are a lot of people who are not going to be able to make that event. Why? Because it's the holiday weekend. They're out of town. They're going to graduations. They're not going to be here. They're going to miss out on that. Now, how those folks that are not going to be there, how can they benefit from, what you have in store, what you have going forward, the workshops, the event? There it is. Save the date. That's
Yes.
well, it's the holiday time. It's still holiday because people are going on vacation, have gone on vacation. We still got to catch back up. What other events you have that someone who's missing on the 31st? Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, when I saw that flyer, I went,
I know.
I saw it because we've got so many things happening that whole weekend. This weekend coming, Memorial Weekend, and next weekend. So what I'm saying to that is there's so many people listening, watching. They're going to be out of town. Where can they catch you the next go round? Because there's going to be something that they can benefit from because they're interested in home ownership.
Yes.
They are.
Well, actually, there's two things. On the Women's Council of EBR Facebook page, we are doing a series where we're actually talking about all these topics that we just spoke about. So we're talking about home ownership. We're talking about owning hotels. We're talking about owning franchises. So if you go on
and
to
I want
our
you to
Facebook,
stare into that camera and say exactly, tell the folks exactly what it is, where they can find you, where they can link you, because there's so many people who are interested in what you're saying.
So if you go to the Women's Council of EBR Facebook page and like our page and share our page, you will be able to see all of the programming that we have done from January through today. And in June, we're actually going to start another symposium, if you will, and there's going to be 3 parts. The first part is for that beginning business owner. So if you just have the concept of, I want to own a business, we're going to take you from business plan, conception. We're going to talk to you about the finances. We're going to talk about basic marketing, and we're going to talk about licensure. That is symposium number 1. Symposium number 2 is for that person who's been in business, I would say 2 to 5 years, but still having some problems with traction and getting their business scaled up to the next level. So we're going to take symposium 2 and talk about how to scale your business, how to get government contracts. Who do you need to be networking with in the community? That's going to be the focus of symposium 3.
That word.
2. And then symposium 3, I have not received the materials yet, but I'm quite sure that based upon what is going to happen in symposiums 1 and 2, you will definitely want to be a part of symposium number 3 as well.
We are excited. We talk about network.
Yes.
Depending on your network, that's what establishes your net worth. And so people need to be in the room with you and have conversations. And I think one of the things that I've learned, even when you and I met, is just speaking up. It's speaking up and asking questions, not being shy to go up and communicate with people. But you have to step out of your comfort zone. I think for entrepreneurs, sometimes you're so scared that somebody's going to shut them down. But you just need one yes. You don't need 10 yeses. You need one. And it takes you learning, understanding how to communicate, developing your elevator speech, having that branding, having those different things. Because had it not been for that, you and I would not be in this room together right now.
I agree. I agree with that. But what? For the person who doesn't have an elevator speech, let's go with that.
So she's going to teach you how to have that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So you see, this is where it comes in. You have to start somewhere. And I really admire you, and I thank you for your platform. I thank you for what you guys are doing, to be bold enough, to be brave, to come forth and say, you know what? Let us go back and do the Harriet Tubman. Let me go back, because I got 20,000 over. But let me go back for the other 40. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. It's all about going to get the others, because there are people who are scared. They're just afraid. I don't want to approach them. I don't want them to know that I don't know. Well, guess what? I don't care if you think I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And the only way to know is to ask and be schooled.
Do it scared.
I'm not exactly.
Do it scared.
Do it scared.
Do it scared. And I think that's one of the things that I want to leave today as we are closing is do it scared.
Yes.
Do not be afraid to try something new. Do not be afraid to invest.
Yes.
An investment, yes, we invest in the stock market, but invest in yourself.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing, that we don't invest in learning. We don't invest in equipping ourselves to get our trades together, getting our certifications, do those things. As an entrepreneur, you have to do that investment. And I think that's one of the things that we're closing today. We understand that, again, networking, but invest in yourself and do it scared. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Yes. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. Next week.
Next week.
Final
words.
Final words from
Final
you.
words.
In parting, I want to say back to this entrepreneurial conversation, understand that you are the secret sauce.
That part.
Everybody has a business within them, but nobody can do it like you. And when God made you, he broke the mold. So you are doing the world a disservice if you're not operating in your purpose. So just think about how you're going to answer to God when you have to go before him and say what you did not do when he put it inside of you.
That's the second time for the day I've heard that.
That's it. Make your dash work.
Yes.
Your dash counts. Once your dash counts, your job is done. You can go home peacefully. Love it.
Well, Sharon,
Close out.
here we are.
Mic drop.
The mic drop. And, how do I close out on that? But I want to thank both of our guests for coming on today. It was truly, they are legacy builders, and we're thinking about building these leaders today for tomorrow. Because as we carry the torch and we can to extend the torch, both of them belong to some amazing sororities, and I think that also plays a part in them and the service industry that they do. And so when we thank you for being here, we thank our guests for coming on. We also thank the ladies who came on and taught us something today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so as her story is written, and so we continue this journey and we pass the torch to the next generation. We thank all the women who have been on the show today. We thank our audience for listening and being a part of Speak Harmony. We thank our guests for coming on, taking the time on this busy season. And we thank APAT Media.
Absolutely.
We thank them for being our sponsors. We thank all of our listeners who are online, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. We thank you. So please like, share, and subscribe to APAT Media. We thank you. And this is Speak Harmony.
Meetings of the mind where wisdom is shared. Tamara and Sharon, a duo prepared to light up the path, to bridge every gap. Access meets opportunity, there's no turning back. Forward with fortitude, the future's in sight. Together we rise like stars in the night. Authenticity reigns, love leads the way. We're speaking in harmony every single day. Speak harmony, let your voice intertwine. So let's move forward, ever bold and true. With Sharon and Tamara, the vision breaks through. Speak harmony where hearts align.
A Fashion Affair, in partnership with the Caribbean Association of Georgia, presents Fashion Cabaret 2025. Enchanted. Saturday, May 31, 5 p.m. at the beautiful Porter Sanford III Performing Arts and Community Center, 3181 Rainbow Drive, in Decatur, featuring top Nigerian fashion model, actress, entrepreneur, Adaeze Iluke, Miss Jamaica Universe 2024, Rachel Silvera, top models including Dawson Shoemate, cabaret performances, compere, and director Weston Houghton. Call 678-379-3811 or visit information at afashionaffair.org for tickets and more information. Sponsors: Winter Law Practice, Arcoville Inc., The Empowerment Workshop, Majestic Smiles LLC, Jamaica Tourist Board, TK Bridal, Gastroenterology Specialists, and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority. Fashion Cabaret 2025. Enchanted. May 31, 6 p.m. at Porter Sanford,